Hello, welcome, welcome.
Hey, Mary.
Hey, Haley, how's it going?
Going.
All right, you ready to talk about hydration?
I am so excited. I've been waiting all week. I can't wait. Can't wait. All right.
Dream about it?
I did a little bit.
You
So
did?
you know me too well. Hydration is my jam, and I love talking about hydration. But how about we first start with our introductions? Would you like me to go first?
Yes.
All right. So, hi, I'm Haley. I'm an NTA certified functional nutritional therapy practitioner who's based in Southeast Michigan. My mission is to empower clients, both locally and virtually, to embrace the healing power of food. I help women who are ready to make better choices to support their health, those who have tried various diets throughout the years with bouts of short-term success, but either find it difficult to maintain or not feeling like they thought they would once they reach their goals. And if you can relate, let me help you. I take a food first approach to help uncover the root cause to help you discover the health you've been striving for. It doesn't have to be difficult, and it's not. I take a simple approach to difficult chronic conditions and get results my clients are looking for. Together, we work on incorporating nourishing foods into your diet, as well as mindset and lifestyle changes that support your overall health. I can help you. I can help you feel good within your body, help you feel well rested and energized throughout the day, and I can help you experience life the way you imagine. When you are ready, I will be here. I will be ready to help guide and support you along your health and wellness journey, and I will give you the tools you need the tools you need so you feel empowered to do it on your own once you're ready. Are you ready to live the life you've imagined? And if you are, after this live, head over to my website at nourishtherootcause.com to book a discovery call to see if what I have to offer is right for you. And I look forward to hearing from you.
Awesome, thank you. And my name is Mary. I am a formerly exhausted mom who now helps other moms beat fatigue and get back to the lives that they love. So my goal is to help empower my community to take charge of their health, increase your quality of life, and to feel better, because we all deserve to be healthy and to live life to our fullest. So you deserve it, your family deserves it, the generations to come after you deserves it, so start now. Before this, I was a health this is not here. So before this, I call it my previous life, but it's not previous, it's still part of me now, live and well. I used to be a health educator for the medical magnet program in Yonkers Public School in New York. And I did that for 5 years. I loved it. We did a wonderful job working with the students, middle and high school, to get them prepared to work in the medical field. So we took them to hospitals, nursing homes, and through that, I was able to see the whole system from a different point of view than I normally saw it. And during that time, I've noticed that there was a huge piece of the puzzle missing. And I came to realize later that a lot of it was nutrition, habit, lifestyle, everything related to prevention. So there were so many diseases, and still are obviously, that are costing us millions of dollars, costing the United States trillions of dollars, causing us health and stress, and all these things are taking a toll, but they can all be preventable. Like all of these diseases that are, in the forefront now, they're all preventable diseases. Most of them are all related to lifestyle choices and habits. So our goal, and my goal specifically, is to help prevent all these diseases so that we can all live healthy and happy lives. So I hope that today's presentation will give you a little bit of advice and just a little help of one little thing that makes a huge difference in everyone's life. And I hope that you learned something today and that it'll help you and your family. That's me. Okay, so as you know, we love to teach a program called Restart. It is a 21-day gut restore. It's 5 weeks total, and it's an awesome program. It's a simple but powerful program that focuses on real food. In this program, we don't push pills or powders or prepackaged foods that you have to buy. And best of all, you do not have to figure it out by yourself. And perfection is never required when you join this program. So there's no promise to a quick fix. I know most of us Americans like one pill that'll fix it all, but that's never the case. And usually when things like that are around, there's always some sort of side effect. So we're not here to gimmick anyone. We're here to teach you awesome things, how to make real food, how to make real changes one day at a time. So Restart is a personal journey of self-discovery with tools you can use for a healthier lifetime. We would love for you to see for yourself how Restart has changed the lives of thousands of participants around the world and participants that we have worked with personally. So please, if you have any questions about it, ask us, join the group. You will not regret it. It is awesome. I love it. I do it all the time. Did you want to add anything?
Nope, you did a great job, Mary. Thank you. All right, but before we begin, a friendly reminder that this is a presentation for educational purposes only. It's not intended to diagnose, treat, or cure disease. So please consult your healthcare professional about any new dietary choices or supplements that may interact with your medications. Did I sound like one of those sales ads after like, like the disclaimer? Like that's what I was going for. So anyway, just know that this is educational. We're just having a conversation to help educate you on the topic. So
yeah, don't sue us. It's just to cover our butt too, because this is all educational. So like, oh, well, they said in this video, blah, blah, blah. No, well, yeah, take our advice, but also just know this is educational.
Yep.
So everyone knows you have to drink water every single day, and you probably grew up hearing that you need to consume around 8 to 10 cups of water per day, which is 8 ounces per cup. But what happens when you don't drink enough water? Most people, oops, let me turn off my ringer. Most people don't realize that dehydration can happen very quickly and can manifest in symptoms that impact you both physically and mentally. Water is the most important nutrient in the body.
Say that again, Mary. Say that again.
I repeat, water is the most important nutrient in the body of all mammals and every single thing on this planet. So these are just some things you might hear or you might have said yourself and didn't realize it was related to hydration. And this is why we're focusing on hydration today and why we focus on hydration with all of our clients. You might often be fatigued and irritable. Do you get frequent headaches? Do you get frequent muscle cramps? Do you have dry, flaky skin? You might remember that from the fats thing too. They're all kind of related. Is your urine very dark and you haven't had a certain supplement that might have made it dark? If you don't have bowel movements every day, you need to stick around and listen.
Absolutely. All right. So what is nutritional therapy? Nutritional therapy is not a quick fix magic pill, as Mary has already hinted at earlier, and there is no one size fits all diet. Everyone is bio-individual with unique needs and circumstances that require a personalized approach to determine what best supports their nutritional requirements. What works for me won't necessarily work best for you, and vice versa. Nutritional therapy takes a bio-individual approach to understand what your body needs to begin to heal itself. Based on your unique need, we utilize the healing power of food along with lifestyle changes and healthy habits to assist the body in what it needs to thrive. So, how do we do this? We do this through a detailed questionnaire, an in-depth evaluation, and some circumstances we use the body's response mechanism to uncover nutritional deficiencies. We use this information to guide and educate you on how to address any weakness through a properly prepared whole foods diet and sometimes supplementation to help you achieve your health and wellness goals.
And as FNTPs, we approach health by addressing the foundations of nutritional therapy, which include, as you see here, number 1, a nutrient-dense, properly prepared whole foods diet. Yes, it is a mouthful, and it's literally and figuratively a mouthful because it's important to have a whole food diet. Number 2, digestion. We want to make sure you're digesting and absorbing it. Number 3 is blood sugar balance or regulation. Super important that we're working with that. 4, essential fatty acid balance or healthy fats. If you see our last video, we went over that. 5, mineral status. We haven't gone deep into that. We will touch upon it a little bit today, but that's also huge. And last but definitely not least, hydration. And today we'll be chatting about the impact hydration has on the body.
So why focus on You may be surprised to find out that water is the most common nutritional deficiency in the American population. I come across an article from the CDC, Get the Facts, Drinking Water and Intake, and it stated in 2005 through 2010, US youth drank an average of 15 ounces of water, and US adults drank an average of 39 ounces of water on a given day. I mean, those findings are very disheartening. The increased consumption of carbonated, caffeinated, and sweetened beverages have definitely had a direct effect on consumption of plain water intake. This shines a light on the lack of understanding that adequate hydration doesn't come from consuming drinks containing sugar and caffeine. It's important to make sure that you are drinking clean and filtered water every day. Water is the most important nutrient in the body, as Mary has hinted a couple times, right? And proper hydration is essential for all overall health. And a fun fact, the average adult carries 10 to 13 gallons of water inside of them. And as you may already know, most people can go about 8 weeks without food, but only days without water. And why? Because water is essential for so many body processes.
Yes. So did you know that the body is about 50 to 60% water? It is literally found in every single tissue. So that includes blood, cells, organs, brain, bones, everything. Although it's not like a macronutrient like fat, protein, and carbs, carbohydrates, the role of water is crucial for optimized body function. So think about the different roles of water. Like what is water's job? It helps digestion. It delivers nutrients and oxygen to cells. It helps remove toxins and cellular waste through excretion, through your pores, through urination, bowel movements, tears. It helps chemical reactions that are happening in your body. Every single millisecond, we're having chemical reactions right now. Everyone is. It allows the cells to communicate with each other. It helps maintain electrical charges. Yes, we are electrical beings, so it helps facilitate that too. It helps to cushion bones and joints. I hear a lot of people not complaining, but saying that their body hurts, their joints are hurting, everything is hurting. Drink more water.
Mm-hmm.
It helps absorb shocks in the body. It helps regulate your body temperature. And it also moistens air for easier breathing. I just got back from Colorado and the air is very dry up there, very windy, and I came back with a little cough and like a really dry throat. Yeah, I needed a lot of water there. They told us every single day, drink water, like altitude sickness is real. You need water with electrolytes, and we'll go over that to make sure you don't feel sick.
Mm-hmm. So let's talk about signs. So signs of hydration. And how do you know if you're drinking enough water for the body and the activity level? So you'll experience normal thirst, you'll have mental clarity, you'll have regular light urine. Again, if you take supplements, that could change, but still, you have regular BMs. And if you pinch your skin and it snaps back, that's a good sign of that you're properly hydrated. I do that all the time. I'm always hydrated, but I still check it just in case. All these signs indicate proper hydration levels. And on the next slide, Mary will be telling us the signs of mild dehydration.
What are BMs?
Bowel movements. Thank you, Mary. I know. I was trying to keep it clean, but
what are regular BMs? What does that look like?
Well, would you like to discuss that? This is your favorite. I'm telling you, it's not your favorite topic, but
am I making you feel awkward?
No, not awkward, but this is something that you always want to talk about. Like,
okay, well, since you asked, okay, you're pulling my arm. You want to go at least once a day, up to 1 to 2 to 3 times a day, and it should look like a solid mass, not like little rabbit pellets. That's like what a regular bowel movement should look like.
Good job. That's it. she loves talking about it, which is fine.
It's so important. I feel like
you're right. And as practitioners, we talk about poop all the time, but I just think you sneak it in anytime that you can.
Yeah, I have to, because I think like water and bowel movements, they just do really important things, like getting rid of toxins, drinking water.
Absolutely.
Okay. So what are some signs of mild dehydration? So did you know if the body's content drops by as little as 2%, it will cause fatigue? you'll be tired. So some signs of mild dehydration include feeling thirsty, headaches, having a dry mouth and dry eyes, dry skin, constipation, feeling tired and irritable, cranky, and also very little bit of urine and also pretty bright urine. So you want to look for those signs.
All right, so severe signs of dehydration. So something to note about chronic dehydration, studies have shown that it's related to an increased risk
So risque.
increased risk of developing diabetes, metabolic syndrome, and cardiovascular disease. As mentioned previously, hydration impacts every function in the body. If you walk away watching this and if you get anything, just know that hydration is really important for all the functions in the body. So there should be no surprise that dehydration impacts the overall health of our body, which can lead to dysfunction that manifests into disease and metabolic issues. If you're showing signs of rapid heartbeat, dark urine, or sunken dry eyes, you could be experiencing severe dehydration. And it's important to know and recognize these signs for both mild and severe. Low blood pressure, not being thirsty, especially for the older population, this is very common. And again, let's pinch the skin. And if it's slow to return, these are all signs that of severe dehydration. And I'd like to note, because this is very important, losing more than 10% of your body's water content can actually lead to death. Only more reason to be mindful about your water intake.
Amen. We don't want to die.
Right.
Also, like if you hear someone talking and you keep hearing that drives me like on the radio station. Do you ever like here's that like
yeah.
I want to just call like drink some more water. Or if I'm like
or if you have dry lips, Mary and I talked about that. If you constantly putting chapstick on there, again, for various reasons, but that could indicate that you may be dehydrated. Yeah. Not always, but it could be.
Yeah. Drink some more water or keep drink water. All right, so we are going to be discussing quantity, which is how much, and quality, which type. So yes, there is more than one type of water. I'm sure you can imagine the bottles lining the supermarkets with all their fancy different labels and titles, or maybe you just drink water straight from the tap. We will discuss this in a bit. I just wanted to quickly say any filter is better than no filter. But we're going to go over quantity first.
Absolutely. And I agree with the filter statement. So water quality or quantity. So how much water do you actually need to drink? 64 ounces is a standard recommended amount, but that doesn't take into consideration of activity level, body size, age, diet, gender, and of course, temperature. So here's my approach. To determine how many ounces you should drink, take your current weight and cut it in half. So if you weigh 180 pounds, you would drink about 90 ounces of water. Well, that would at least be your goal. Easy, right? Yes and no. This is not an exact science, but it can help you best determine what you should be striving for. There are, however, a few things to consider. In addition to what I mentioned above, you need to consider what else you're drinking during the day. Consuming diuretics such as coffee, caffeinated and herbal teas, alcohol, soft drinks, and fruit juice increase your need for water. I mean, seriously, say what? Yes, coffee, alcohol, and soft drinks increase your need for water. I know, I get it. Nothing can really ever be simple, right? But don't worry, there is an equation. All right, but don't worry. I don't want math to stand in your way of staying hydrated. So my suggestion, this is how I talk to my clients. I encourage them to, okay, let me say this. So my clients who refuse to give up caffeinated beverages, and believe me, that's most of them, I tell them to follow each cup of coffee normally with 16 ounces of water. And for those who that need more than one cup of coffee a day, I encourage them to drink at least 8 ounces in between each cup. This helps to make sure that you're not dehydrated by mid-morning, because if you're only drinking coffee in the morning, you're just dehydrating yourself. So to kind of stray away from that, drink a cup of coffee, drink a cup of water, and kind of alternate it. So you're still not super hydrated, but you're not dehydrated. And that's important. So above anything else, listen to your body. If you're experiencing mild symptoms of dehydration, you need to drink water. And it needs to be said. If you're not thirsty and haven't had any water during the day, it doesn't mean that you're hydrated. This means you need to drink water. Okay. All right.
It might be like a little disconnect going on, like the communication might be a little bit off. And also one thing I wanted to add, if you're pregnant, you'll need more water because you're making more blood cells and you have two people there. And also elevation plays a huge role as well. Where you are you sea level? Are you 10,000 feet high? Those all play a different role as well with how much water you should be drinking. Oh, and medications. If you're on certain medications that are diuretic, besides drinking coffee and teas and things like that, some medications will make you urinate more. So let's get that back in. Okay, so drink more water. So here's some little tips that I do myself. Right when I wake up, I have my first cup. Usually it's in this, I fill it up, and then I have either I cut up a lemon, like, and I squeeze it fresh, or I from like Costco, I buy these big fresh squeeze bottles of lemon water and I just like dump it in. And I do that as soon as I wake up. That's the first thing I do. I go to the bathroom, brush my teeth, go to the kitchen before I even eat, drink that huge amount of water. I love room temperature water because it doesn't shock my body, but warm can even be better with the fresh squeezed lemon. Also, another way to get some water in is to get a little pretty water bottle that you like to drink out of, that you enjoy looking at. Another way is pre-measuring, so have how much you need per day and just have it somewhere so you can see the levels. That way you don't have to like do the math in your head and like figure it out. If you know you need 80 ounces per day, measure it in the morning and just have that around where you can see it. And like Haley said, alternate caffeinated drinks with water to make sure you're getting the whatever you urinated out back in. And my favorite, I love to add different fruits, lemons, cucumbers, fresh herbs, change it up, add some flavor. I personally, if I drink too much plain water, I gag. It doesn't taste good to me. So that's why I like to add my lemon juice, because it gives it like a little nice tart, quenchable flavor that I enjoy. So if you're like me and plain water is boring and makes you gag, add something, make it pretty, make it enjoyable.
So I have never been a fan of putting fruit in my water. I don't know why, I just haven't. But here in the past couple of weeks, I've started putting lime in my water, and I don't think I can ever go back. Like, it's so wonderful, right? Like it's beautiful. It's refreshing. It is more refreshing somehow. I don't know what it is. But what I do to kind of give you another tip, I cut up my limes. I buy a big bag at Costco, organic limes. I cut them, I quarter them, and then I throw them in the freezer. And I just take them out like that. And I don't like cold water either, but when it's a little hot outside, I like it to be a little cooler. So yeah, refreshing. That was the word I was looking for. So my son does too. My son likes adding limes to his water now as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we love it here also.
All right. So let's talk about mineral content. I'm going to kind of
important.
This is important. And I'm going to take you back a little bit. So I grew up drinking well water and never realized that it had a flavor. And I would, until I would visit like friends and family that lived in the city. And I'm being honest, I actually prefer the taste of well water over tap. I always found it funny that my cousins from the city would gag, just kind of like Mary was saying, sometimes when drinking the water at our grandparents' house. I lived with my grandparents growing up, so that's when they visit. And I always thought that was kind of interesting, but they didn't like the taste of it. And I mean, I didn't notice it. Like I said, I like the flavor of well water. And oftentimes, I think I lost my place here. Sorry. So the taste that they were experiencing was coming from the mineral content, which is determined really by where you live. So different well waters are going to taste differently. And oftentimes well water is filtered, at least in my case it is. And I have a whole house reverse osmosis system, but we'll talk about that in the next few slides, where there is like a little bit of a downside to it. So let's get back to the minerals. There we go. I tell stories and then I wander off. So this is why Haley does. That's why Haley's not allowed to tell stories all the time, because so why is mineral in water so important? Well, let me ask you this. Do you drink a lot of water throughout your day, but you're still thirsty no matter how much water you drink? And I mean, you just can't quench that thirst. Water depends on electrolytes for proper absorption. And this is where minerals, especially or specifically electrolytes, come into play. Electrolytes are involved in many essential processes in the body. They play a role in conducting nerve impulses, contracting muscles, keeping you hydrated, and regulating your body's pH levels. And the electrolytes specifically are sodium, potassium, chloride, calcium, magnesium, phosphate, and bicarbonate. Making sure that you get adequate electrolytes in your water will help you absorb the water so that your body can properly utilize it. So just know it is more than just the water. There's things in the water that's allowing our body to utilize it. So let's discuss a little bit further, Mary.
Yeah, I just want to add real quick. When we learned about minerals, the analogy they gave was that minerals are like the spark plugs in our body. And it's so important because they transport. So if you learn about cells, all the different minerals that she mentioned, sodium, potassium, chloride, calcium, magnesium, phosphate, bicarbonate, they're like transporters. They transport things in and out of cells. And if you don't have them, the water cannot get transported into the cell. So they're kind of like your pass, so we need them.
They're awesome.
Extremely.
I love minerals.
Okay, so mineral content, water quality. This is another huge one because a lot of people that I speak to when I'm like filtered water, they're like, well, what do you mean filtered water? But before we get into that, actually, so I don't remember these notes. So electrolytes and trace minerals, like I just said, are necessary for proper absorption. I don't remember reading this yesterday, but I'll go over it anyway. So basically, something to keep in mind when you're drinking water. I know there's a huge fad of drinking distilled water because a lot of people view it as like the purest form of water because it's being vaporized and then it's brought back down and you're getting pure H2O. But the problem when you drink distilled water only is that there's no electrolytes in there. So what it's going to do is going to find electrolytes because it's going to search your body for it and actually pull it and then take it out when you go to the bathroom. So when you the process of distilling water removes not only the harmful organisms, which is good. We want to get rid of the harmful organisms that are in our water. Also the chemicals that are in our water, you want to get that out, but also the beneficial minerals as well. And also some of the chemicals actually aren't removed because when the process of distilling water is you're boiling it and then the vapor comes out and then it gets cooled and then it comes back down. Some of the chemicals are light enough to float away with the vapors and they stay in the water. So it's not always the best thing. So when someone who drinks distilled water is already mineral deficient, which a lot of us are already mineral deficient, this can be detrimental for your body. Your body needs these minerals, again, like we said before, for all the processes that we have. Yeah, so that's.
Well, and this is the point, if you don't mind me sharing real quick, the reverse osmosis. If you have a reverse osmosis, I mean, it's good, but you need a remineralizer. I can't say it. A remineralizer that adds minerals back into the water because it's similar to distilled water that it will remove the minerals from your body. And I had that experience. I didn't realize that until I went through the NTA program, that the reverse osmosis was actually it was contributing to my health, like a lack of health at that point. And so my hair looked horrible. That was like how I know it now. If I'm not putting enough minerals in my water, is my hair shows. So
yeah, and we're gonna, in a few slides down, we're gonna talk about which specific minerals and supplements, and not supplements, but electrolytes we add to our water.
Yeah.
But something else to think about with, if some of you have heard of a reverse osmosis systems, they use a lot of energy and they do waste a lot of water because they're separating the water into two. Half of it goes down the drain and the other half is what goes back into your house system and what you drink or shower with. So I will speak briefly on different filters that I personally recommend and I use myself. And but yeah, so we have recommendations for different drops you can add. It could be as simple as adding Celtic sea salt, just a little tiny pinch to your water. That's a great way to get electrolytes, but we'll speak about that in a few slides. But this is probably one of the most important slides. is why we need the electrolytes in our water, like, and to be careful with some of the things that are out there that are fads and what people are,
And
going
like
crazy about.
good quality electrolytes.
Yes, definitely.
All right, so let's talk about water quality. And let's be honest, most Americans take clean water for granted. Most don't, yeah, right. Most don't consider the quality of the water that they are drinking, just that they can go to the sink, fridge, or just quickly grab a bottle of water when they are thirsty. But the quality of our water is so important. Water sources can contain pathogenic microorganisms, heavy metals, pesticides, and other endocrine disrupting chemicals. Sure, water municipalities, well, I cannot talk. I can't promise. Water municipalities take precautions to help keep our water clean. For example, when they add chlorine into our water, it is meant to kill any pathogens floating around because no one likes.
Giardia.
Thank you. She has my back. So this is where home filtration is an important consideration. It is important to remove any harmful chemicals that may still be present in our drinking water. Those harmful chemicals not only kill pathogens that may be lingering in the water, they also kill the beneficial bacteria in our microbiome, which we will talk more about in the next episode of Food for Thought Fridays on July 22nd. There are many other contaminants that we do not have time to go into right now. But if you are interested in learning more about your local water quality, check out the tap water database at www.ewg.org/tapwater. And just because you can't see them or are unaware of them doesn't mean that they're not there. So lessen the burden on your already burdened bodies by filtering your tap water. Just like Mary said earlier, filtration is important. Any type of filtration is better than no filtration, right?
Amen. Yeah. And I just want to emphasize, I'm so glad that we have clean running water in our homes. Like, you're right. Before, I'm not like the 1800s, like that wasn't a thing. People would just dump all their stuff out the window. There were a lot of viruses and diseases because there was no running water, no sanitation systems in place, and refrigeration. Those three things single-handedly got rid of a bunch of diseases that we were dying from before that we didn't have to die from. So thank you for that. I appreciate. And actually, my grandfather, he was an engineer. He helped build some of the water systems that brought water from upstate New York into the city. So
wow,
that's something really special. My dad still has all the little cool like designs and engineering designs, and I showed it to the kids. And it's really cool to see how much thought and time and resources goes into keeping our water clean and into every household. But with what we know now, we still have to do our part and filter what comes in, because these pipes are old. The pipes in our building, some of them are lead, some of them are plastics or copper. So, if you're in an older building too, you want to make sure you're filtering that stuff out, because it's going to be picking up everything along the way. And then also like chlorine, it'll break down the stuff that's gunking up the side of those pipes and it'll pass it into you. So filter your water.
Filter your water.
Yes.
I feel like we should say that after every statement, but yeah. So I mean, this is a bigger conversation, right? Like just about water quality can be, a topic in itself. And it might be a consideration to have, because I think it's so important. I mean it when I say hydration is important to me. And it's not just about the water that we're drinking, it's about the impact that it has on other, just in our lives in general. So thank you for adding that though. And thank you for your grandfather. Like, that's wonderful.
Yeah, thank you.
That's so cool. So cool.
I want to talk so much more about everything that's on this list.
I know you do. So do I.
Oh, can I say one thing real quick? I went on a field trip with my kids a couple years ago to the water treatment center. And it was so cool to learn how, like, St. Louis, we get our water from like the Missouri River. But it's also a little concerning because there's a bunch of farms that are lining up along those rivers, and they put a bunch of chemicals and treatments, and when it rains, all this stuff gets washed into the water, and then they suck it up and then filter it, and that's what's dispersed. And also, so you want to think about those things when it comes, like, they do their best, they do a lot, but it's still not it'll never be a perfect system, but we could do what we can in our power to keep our water clean.
I agree. And I want to add to that.
Okay.
If you added, I'm going to add. the one adding, doing lawn treatments, or what are those, like people spray for a prettier lawn? Those harm our water, that harms our water.
It
And
harms everybody,
right,
everything.
everything,
Stop.
more than just water, right? Yeah, I absolutely agree. And I have a well, as I had mentioned earlier, and part of the reason why it's so important for us to filter our water is because the previous owners for I don't know how many decades were treating their lawn, and that people don't realize that, that stuff goes back into our bodies. So
We're talking about the pesticides and all that
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, I can't think of it. I don't even use it, and I want to
Like
start
Roundup. You're talking about Roundup and all those.
Roundup, or just like, people like they have True Green or whatever to come out and spray their lawns. I want to start a campaign for stop, let dandelions grow like that.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
actually, there's a campaign. I just hold on.
Do you want to take this off?
Moms Across America. If you go to momsacrossamerica.org, I have a bunch of like of their flyers. They are big on organic and also educating what pesticides do to our body. They cause cancer, and I'm gonna just say it. Like there's people been paid out millions of dollars for what they cause. So
Yep.
to filter your water, I'm getting energized.
All right, next slide.
Okay, water types.
We're passionate, if nothing else.
Yes. Yeah. But some people don't. I mean,
I know.
yeah. Okay. It's all out there. If you want to, test what I'm saying is true or not, Google it. Okay. Anyway, variable. Okay. So there's different water types. This is what can get people confused and want to give up and not want to research anymore about water to drink and just keep drinking their tap water. Take a deep breath. We're going to just walk you through it quickly and then tell you what the best thing is. There's tap water. The purity can vary depending on location, but there are high minerals, which is good, but still filter it. There's distilled water, which is totally pure water, no minerals. I personally use it to make soups because it's all in one pot, but I know Haley feels like if you're cooking, like I guess like broccoli, it'll just pull out all the nutrients. So if you're not going to drink the water after, then you probably shouldn't cook with distilled unless you're making like soups and it's all in one pot together and you're drinking the liquids. Then there's spring and mineral water, which is beautiful, and you can find different springs all around. Make sure it's been tested and there's no giardia that's going to make you sick and vomit and all that good stuff. It's high mineral. Purity can vary depending on the pure source. You want to make sure there aren't bears upstream pooping in it that you're going to be drinking. So be careful with spring water. Make sure it is tested. Then there's reverse osmosis. Again, super pure water, no minerals. You have to add the minerals back in there. Then there's carbon filtration. Purity depends. Minerals depend. It has also a high pH. And then I'm sorry, no, I'm skipping ahead. Then there's alkaline water, which I know is a popular thing right now, which is high pH. A lot of people feel we are acidic, so they want to drink a lot of high pH water. They're usually pure. They usually have minerals. However, if you drink I think short term, I keep hearing Kangen water and all these ionized waters. I think they're good for shorter terms, but to drink high pH on a long-term basis, your body is always trying to balance out. And also it's diluting your stomach acid, which we spoke about before. So that long-term might have negative effects. So definitely, if you're going to get an investment like that, do your research and look into that. And then alkaline and ionized water, again, that's super high pure because it's filtered, usually, not all the time. And it also has high minerals. I don't know enough about ionized water to speak deeper into that. So if you are looking into a system like that, do your research.
Is it my turn? Beyond water, as if we need anything else besides water, but sometimes people need a little bit more flavor in their life, if you will. So, the more nutrient dense the source is, the more hydrating it is to the body. And this is because many of these beverages are rich in electrolyte minerals. In addition to plain, clean filtered water, some other sources of hydration can be found in the fruits and vegetables that you eat, not drink, but what you eat. Sparkling water, as Mary had mentioned earlier, and organic milk, herbal tea such as ginger tea, chamomile, and peppermint. Be mindful about herbal teas though. Do your research on to make sure that they're not a diuretic, because some teas are a
Like
diuretic.
black tea,
Yeah, black tea,
things that are highly caffeinated or things that will make your body.
dandelion tea is another one, but it's not caffeinated. But yeah, you just want to be mindful of caffeine that's in the teas. Also, another one is aloe vera juice, which that's a story for a different time. But I use aloe vera juice, and I have a history with it, so I'll share it another time. Kombucha, again, with kombucha, I'd like to do a disclaimer. I'm not against kombucha, but you don't need to drink a bottle of kombucha. 1 to 2 ounces of kombucha is beneficial for the body. I just wanted to say that.
I dilute it with coconut water. It actually tastes really good.
Oh, I thought you give that a try. So then there's coconut water. Like Mary knew it was coming up. So coconut water is a delicious alternative to water. But before we go on to the next slide, I would like to make mention that drinking sparkling water sparkling water contains phosphoric acid, which can inhibit stomach acid production, which can inhibit the body's ability to absorb calcium. It's just a disclaimer. I'm not saying you shouldn't drink sparkling water, but consider not drinking, like that's the only type of water you drink.
Is this like carbonated water or like
shoot, what is it?
I see the bottle, like the big green glass bottle.
I drink it. I don't have a bottle right here in front
I'm
of me.
having a brain fart right now too.
I can give it like oh my goodness. It starts with, there's a couple different ones.
Oh, Pella.
Pellegrino. Is that it? Is that a wine? I don't drink either, but I don't know. It sounds like a wine.
When I was pregnant, I was drinking a lot, but then I realized it was making me more nauseous after a while. I think because it was inhibiting my stomach acid.
Yeah.
But I mean, some people are addicted to like the bubbly waters, and that are flavored. That can also inhibit stomach acid, right?
Yep. So it can. So be very, because I love mineral water, like natural mineral water that's crisp. So it's it's a natural sparkling water. And I don't know. The word sparkling is making me giggle for some reason. But you have to be mindful of it because it does reduce your stomach acid. And I do notice a difference. So I limit myself to only having a couple a week. So
yeah. So if something's inhibiting your stomach acid, that'll inhibit you breaking down your food, which will inhibit you absorbing the nutrients, which is a whole cascade effect. So everything in moderation, I think, is important to look into here. Also, one thing about kombucha, some of them are really, really high in sugar. So look at when you buy one, or before you buy it, look at the label and look at how many grams of sugar per serving there are in the bottle. Because like even with the most popular brand, which is in my picture, I can picture in my mind, but the name is like it's gone. But different flavors have different amounts of sugar. Like the guava flavor and pineapple, it'll have like a crazy amount of sugar versus I think the like ginger, I think it's the gingerade flavor that has like the least amount of sugar. So compare it before you buy.
Yeah. And just revert back to make sure you're drinking clean water.
Yes. Back to clean water. Yes. So I just want to apologize on the internet to my grandmother for being a brat my whole life and questioning and not listening to her when she told me, don't drink all that water with your food, you're going to ruin your appetite, and I was just like, what does she know? Well, obviously she knew more than I did, and she was right. Drinking too much water with your meals will dilute your stomach acid and your enzymes, and it'll make you get full before you even finish your food, and also it will not help you digest your food. It impairs your digestion. It can lead to bloating. While on the other hand, you want to drink liquids and waters in between meals. So I usually say 30 minutes before a meal is the perfect time to drink your water, or about an hour and a half after a meal when your food's already should be in your small intestine by then. Because if you're drinking a lot of water with your meal, your stomach acid is like the green light for your stomach to like release the food into your small intestine. So if it's not at a certain pH, like if it's not acidic enough, it's just going to stay turning in your stomach, starting to putrefy, starting to expand and get bubbles, and then you're going to start burping, acid reflux, bloating, all that great stuff. So you want to keep it acidic in your stomach so that your body could be like, all right, it's time to move it on to the next section, which is your small intestine, to let digestion keep doing its job. So do not dilute your stomach acid when you're eating food.
Absolutely.
Keep water away from meals, away.
Absolutely. And I apologize to my mammal too.
Sorry, abuelita.
Yeah. So I also like, you made a good point. I didn't think about this earlier when we were discussing this. Not only should we not drink water, but most people drink like carbonated beverages, either,
Ooh, yeah.
right? Like, so
Yeah.
let's do soda, because I haven't drank soda in years, but I'm sure people still do. Coca-Cola and Pepsi are still a thing, right?
What?
Yeah. So, but
what are you talking about?
yeah. So with that though, when we're drinking the sugar-laden carbonated beverages, that's reducing our stomach acid even more. So just know it's not just about water. If you're going to choose to drink something, please do drink water, but just consider the impact of the sodas that you're drinking during your meal.
Yeah, and if your mouth is dry and like everything's like sticking and you can't even swallow, take a sip of water. It's fine, but just don't gulp down a whole cup of water in the middle of your meal.
Yeah. All right. So signs of proper hydration. This is what we've been waiting for. This is our goal. This is what we're working toward, right?
Yeah.
And it's proper hydration. And we need you to know the signs. So we have discussed what it looks like when it comes to dehydration, but what does it look like? Or better yet, what does it feel like when you're hydrated? You have smooth, clear, hydrated skin. I get compliments all the time that I have really nice skin, and I'm like, it's because I hydrate. So mental clarity and focused attention.
Like, not to toot my own horn, but
right.
Water.
They're like, what's your regimen? I'm like, I drink water. And they're like, so it's true. I don't do any skincare. Only thing I do is drink water. So, but mental clarity and focused attention, which is so important, right? Boosts energy and prevents fatigue, giving us balanced energy. Proper hydration supports healthy blood pressure, joint and health, and like no pain, right? If someone comes to me, I think Mary hit on this earlier, excuse me, with joint pain. But oftentimes when you're experiencing pain, especially in the joints, it's either one of two things, in my opinion. I mean, there could be three, because someone could have an injury. But one is bad fats. If you're eating bad fats, you're going to hurt. And then, but not being hydrated. So you get good joint health, inflammation balance, and proper hydration flushes toxins out of the body through perspiration, urination, and it supports regular bowel movements. And if you're not sure what regular bowel movements are, ask Mary. She will let you know.
Like, so, bowel movements.
There's so many benefits of proper hydration. I mean, who would not want to experience all of these? Seriously, like pick one. I mean, I can't pick one. I want them all. I'm greedy. Yeah.
I'll take me for $10.
Yeah, right. So increase your hydration. Okay, so I haven't challenged anyone yet so far. We're almost an hour in, and I have yet to challenge anyone. So I challenge you. Start incorporating more water throughout your day, and let's see which of these you experience. Let's see if
we get more specific. I challenge everyone to drink a whole cup of water with your favorite lime or your juice as soon as you wake up in the morning.
Not juice. Okay, I see what you're saying. Juice. Okay, yeah.
Fresh squeezed lemon juice or something, or whatever, like a cucumber.
Okay, so I like that, Mary.
Or a pinch of salt.
Let's challenge. Okay, no, I get it. So let's challenge our watchers, our loyal watchers, our fans, if you will,
our future, present, and past.
Right. So let's challenge them to. I agree. Drink a glass of water with either
pinch of salt
or juice, and just take note how you feel the rest of the day. Now you got to drink more water throughout your day as well, but start your day with water instead of coffee.
As soon as you wake up, big cup. That's my challenge.
All right, good. I like these challenges. See, now you're even getting on board with the challenge.
Oh, yeah.
I like it. All right.
And also, one thing I want to just touch upon, the inflammation and joint health. So yes, water is huge for that, but also there's certain foods that will cause inflammation. So we kind of spoke about it before, and we'll speak about it again. And in Restart, we talk about it all the time. And that's where I experience my joint pain disappearing, my tennis elbow, when I cut out those inflammatory foods. And obviously, I'm sure I added more water, but combination of things are huge. So just to touch upon foundations again, hydration is like the umbrella that covers all the rest of these foundations. Water is life. Optimizing hydration will improve every other foundation. So again, drink your water, make sure you have enough. These are all the things.
Mm-hmm. All right. So just as Mary said, optimizing hydration will improve the other foundations: digestion, fatty acid balance, mineral balance, and blood sugar regulation. But do you know what else will do that? Restart. You knew I was going to go there. I mean, come on, let's be real. So Mary and I will be co-leading Restart classes starting in August, and registration is going to open up on July 1st. So get ready. Look for that link. And we're offering 2 classes, Thursday evenings and Friday mornings. This way, no one has an excuse not to join. All right. So you might be asking me, why join Restart? Mary kind of went over the benefits of Restart earlier, but you still may have questions, right? So let me tell you, if you want to make better choices that support your health, but you need accountability, Restart will help. Are you having trouble losing weight? Restart's going to help. Do you experience strong sugar cravings that you just can't ignore? Restart will help, right? I think that's the main one. Restart will provide a foundation that will support you in reaching your health and wellness goals. Also, when you sign up to join in our next session, we will send you a Restart cookbook so you can start incorporating some healthy recipes before you even start the class. And if you're still wondering if Restart is right for you,
Are you human?
Are you human? I can't even talk. It is. Restart is right for you. Everyone benefits from learning how to best support their body. Please feel free to reach out to Mary and I with any questions that you have. We welcome them.
Yes, we will. So just to quickly go over what we spoke about today, the recommended amount of water can be subjective depending on your gender, your activity level, pregnant or not, all those good things. But a good rule to follow is to drink half of your body weight in ounces, but not to exceed 120 ounces, depending on activity level and your temperature. Adequate water intake also means being mindful of medications that you may take that cause dehydration, along with any caffeine that you consume throughout the day. When you are in a hot climate, high elevation, or participating in any physical activity that makes you sweat, make sure you are sipping on water that has electrolytes in it throughout the day and during strenuous activities to replenish any fluid and electrolyte loss. Also a tip, carry a stainless steel or protected glass water bottle around with you so that you always have water to drink. And really quickly, like my 2 boys, they play hockey. That's one of the sports that a lot of kids get dehydrated, adults too, because you're on cold ice, you're sweating profusely because you're wearing all these layers. It's really easy to forget to drink water because you feel cool because you're on the ice. But if you're sweating like that, you need to be drinking water with electrolytes. The end. Not the end.
Not the end. Right. So we promised to give you some examples here. And I'm going to talk about Switchel, and then Mary is going to talk about the other electrolytes that we have here. But well, I'm a course mentor, as is Mary. And during my session last year, my May group, during hydration, they started talking about the Switchel. And somehow I missed that. I had never heard of it before. And I like to test everything out. And they shared the recipe with me. And it's a recipe that was created by the Amish for farmers who were outside a lot and that was losing a lot of fluid. And this thing is super, super hydrating. So it's a cup of ginger chopped, a half a cup of black strap molasses, a half a cup of apple cider vinegar, and 2/3 cups of lemon juice and 6 cups of water. I know it sounds horrible. I'm not going to lie. It sounds bad, but it doesn't taste bad. It is actually really, really good. And you can also, if you don't want to do blackstrap molasses, you can do maple syrup or honey. Honey probably work as well.
I like maple syrup. Honey is so thick.
Yeah. Okay. So, but you cook it, you boil it down. The recipe's here. And if you want it, reach out. I will send it to you, or just Google it. You can find it that way as
Or
well.
screenshot this.
Yeah. So it's really, it's nice to have on really hot days. Or when you have guests. I don't know. I like to introduce new things to people.
A captive audience.
Try this.
Oh, that's good. They liked it all?
Yeah, no one complained. I didn't tell them what was in it. I didn't tell them it had apple cider vinegar. I think that one, for whatever reason, throws
Yeah.
people. But
They didn't notice?
you don't notice. I
I think
challenge Gary to try it.
I am gonna try this. You don't have to challenge it. It sounds awesome. And I also like another one that I make for my kids that's like super quick, doesn't involve boiling if you're like in a rush. Like when my kids were doing hockey, I just take maple syrup because there's minerals in there because it's like basically the blood of a tree. Maple syrup, fresh lemon juice, and like a dash of sea salt mixed in the water. And that was great for them because you get the glucose for the energy, you get all the minerals from the maple syrup and the salt, and the lemon juice kind of makes it lemony. And then
wait, sorry, not to interrupt you, but that was it. You know what? We should have put the electrolyte drink thing that I shared on Instagram. I think you might have it as well. So
yeah,
I know, follow us on Instagram and look for that electrolyte
yeah, that's
handout. All right, go on. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, you're fine. These are a couple of, some of them are supplements, some you could they're just regular sea salt. This is the best sea salt that, the best quality. Yes, you have table salt. It's only, what is it, sodium chloride, so it's 2. This Celtic sea salt, it's evaporated salt water basically, and it's super high in a lot of great nutrients, even a little bit of iodine, which is great for you. So this, you're going to get all the minerals that you need in like a little pinch. You can also buy, Seeking Health makes a really good optimal electrolyte. This is really good for athletes, even pregnant women. Ask your provider first, obviously, if this is good for you, because there are some B vitamins in there. But this is good if you're, exercising throughout the day. I've been starting to drink this in the mornings, and I really like it. And then you also have something called 40,000 volts, which is electrolyte drops. And I actually have it in my water right now. Just put a couple of drops and it'll give you the electrolytes you need. And it's volts. You think about, the spark plugs. This is the spark plugs of our cells. And you can, on my website, you can buy, I do have a full script account. So if you did want to buy the Seeking Health or the 40,000 volts, it's on there. I've also seen them in Whole Foods and different like health food stores. So you can find this pretty much anywhere.
And just a note on the trace minerals, regardless of what trace minerals you use, be mindful about how many drops that you do, and pay attention. Pay attention, because you may be running to the bathroom if you put too many trace minerals. Just
that.
I'm not saying
something from experience.
Maybe this has been from experience, but I just wanted to help our
actually the label says to use like a teaspoon, but that's, for me, it's too much. Like for me, 3 drops and it tastes fine. Like you have to go by how it tastes to you. Don't just go by also like what the label says. Sometimes you might need a little bit less than what the label suggests. Also, these are just 2 filters. It's such a boring slide. It's so plain. But okay, so I had a Berkey before, and recently there was a little bit of controversy with Berkey filters about adding, silver nanoparticles back into the water. I use because I have the fluoride filter and the regular filter, because Berkey comes with 2. I just switched to the Pro 1 USA, and those filters actually fit into a Berkey system. So if you are a Berkey user and you're due to buy new filters, I would suggest switching to Pro 1. It used to be called Pro Pure, but now they're called Pro 1 USA. And I just buy the 2 9-inch filters, and they work really great. The water tastes nice and clean. If you're looking for something that's like under the sink that connects directly to your faucet, this uses water pressure. There's no electricity involved. This uses the water pressure, and it's a 3-stage filter, and it gets rid of pretty much all the main things that are all the toxins, the fluoride, chloride, heavy metals. I'm not sure if uranium is one of them, but it really depends on where you live. So I suggest doing the EWG tap water search. And also, if you just type in your name of your neighborhood, like municipality, and then you type in like water report, you should be able to find something that your local municipality, every single area has to do a third-party test to tell you what's in your water. And that'll tell you what you need to filter out. The end.
No, comma.
Colon.
There we go. But we just didn't, as you can tell, we didn't put a lot of time and effort in this slide, and we apologize. But even finding a picture filter is better than no filter.
Yes.
So don't feel like you have to spend hundreds of dollars to get a filtration system to have clean drinking water. Know that any type of filter is better than none. You can do your research, and you're also welcome to reach out to us and we can give you some suggestions. We just didn't put this slide together as we intended.
Well, and also I didn't want to spend a lot of time on this because this is a whole nother, this will take a whole another hour to go into like everything in the water, what to look for.
Yeah. So I wanted to make sure though, if you get a picture filter from your local store, it's better than nothing. So
and actually the Pro One website, they do sell pictures. This is what I use personally because it gets more things out. And like Haley said, and like we said before, any filter is better than none. But if you are extra concerned about some extra things that might be in your water, and this is over time, like considering the amount of time and how many gallons this takes, this is actually worth the investment. But if you're not ready to spend that money right now, that's fine. Start saving up every week if you can.
I agree. Well, I think
we can talk about budgeting next time also.
Yeah, I think that's another topic that we could talk an hour for. So, and we have reached the end. But I've mentioned it before. You can reach me at Nourish the Root Cause, and my email address is hello@nourishtherootcause. Reach out to me if you want to talk about hydration, or if you want to talk about how I can support you. I'm available. So.
And you can find me at ideservehealth.com, or you can email me at mary@ideservehealth.com. Also on my website, I do have a full script. It's under dispensary if you wanted to get any of those things, the supplements or the 40,000 volts. And if you have any questions, we're here. Email us. If you're interested in our restart class, email us and we'll get you signed up for that coming in August. We're really excited to start our next class with our new people. Or even old ones. If you're previous restarters, come on back. I know everyone loves a little refresh and misses that community, and it's just a nice thing to be in more than once even.
Absolutely. All right, Mary. Well, thank you for spending the hour.
Thank you for spending your time with me.
So, all right, until next time, stay hydrated.
Yes. Good one.
All right.
Bye.